Guys, we are back again with the best podcast in Kenya, the Based Podcast. Based. It's me, Zola.
Liesha, what's wrong with you people?
It's chill. Yo, may I have an excuse? Me, I'm tipsy. May I have an excuse?
No, I've not been here for some time, so I had wanted to just let guys know we are still around.
Energy.
Yeah, but now.
We have bonded for 1 hour, guys. We're supposed to start an hour ago.
Mother.
So
Zola, you can just tell people who many miss. Like, that's what I want you to admit.
Actually, I'd missed Lily.
Actually, I'll say I'd miss Lily.
Yeah, I like her interesting
Energy.
viewpoints, and also she's very confident about what she says.
There's a video, but then I need to give you guys. This is really out of context. For the way people came at me for saying Gen Z dress.
Yeah.
There's another video of a guy, but I said, did I speak? But the video spoke for itself. I need to make sure that video is even on our page.
Share, we post.
Carry on.
So today's podcast is about something very touchy. I'll say that mapema. It's about this.
And today, all at this point, most of our topics are very touchy.
But this one is super freaking touchy. And it's about the fight between this pastor in Nakuru.
Well, Trump is about to give us freedom of speech, so I mean.
Don't forget YouTube, and most of the places we go are normally very left-leaning.
MAGA.
Yes.
MAGA was the only hope for the whole world.
But it's about this Nakuru pastor who was caught in a scandal in a way.
Elias Njeru.
Yes, with his ex,
Florence Gishohi.
Wanjiku. And we still don't know what has happened. Let's please just say that. We don't know until it's in court and it's tabled.
We say this to indemnify ourselves from any legal action.
Yes. We just know
But
what
the
we've seen.
CCTV was showing
Something
a
different.
very clear narrative.
No. We still don't know how the stabbing happened.
Yeah.
My guy, she tried to run him over.
But we don't know when the stabbing happened 18 times. Do we know that? Do you have the evidence?
We don't
No.
have that.
So we don't know that. So the thing is, we're talking about, should we be believing every accuser? Should we be believing accusers or the facts? And that story is a very good one to talk about, because we had talked about this in the past. So we talked about how to protect yourself from false accusations. But this one now is really messed up because someone is in hospital.
murky.
Yeah, someone is in hospital.
Well, where were her stab wounds? Because I saw it was in the hands.
She might lose her fingers, some of her fingers. So it's not.
So 18 times in the hands?
I don't know, but most likely it's defensive in nature.
So that being said and done, a quick recap is simply, there's a video playing right now.
Yeah.
Boom. Now, from the video playing, what we have deduced is there's more than meets the eye.
Yes.
So what we were told was a simple domestic violence situation.
Yeah.
DV, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, from the video, what we are saying, well, fortunately, if you believe like me, don't believe everyone, is the fact that this shorty tried vehicular homicide. What is vehicular homicide? It is when you try to kill someone with your vehicle, with your car.
We'll be saying allegedly.
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 It is allegedly.
Allegedly.
And all of this came after she hugged the watchman in a very suggestive manner. They disappeared off camera for quite a few minutes, came back, everyone was adjusting their clothes, exited, and then we saw Mr. Njeru, Pastor Njeru, Bishop Njeru, whatever. I hope he's not from
And
those
that guy's
churches
a serious,
that say...
a serious beard, man.
Yeah, and a serious
Beard
kihara.
guy.
Actually, he has those kihara, so it's like 3
Yeah, and
You
then
should
it
cut it
says,
there.
Yeah.
You should cut it there.
actually, somebody wrote there, I'm going to tell this guy being bald is not bad.
Because
would say that. You look good.
look like Ariel.
Yes.
Anyway, so we saw him check into wherever they live, the apartment complex.
Yes.
And then he was nearly run over. He parked his car, Vizuri, was nearly run over, ran to the wife's car.
Wife?
Partner's car, Gishohi.
Lover. Actually, we're
Miss
calling her
Gishohi.
lover.
To the lover's car, Wanjiru Gishoi's car. And then from there, we saw him struggling from an alternative angle. Then
We don't know. Now we don't know what happened after that.
Actually, when the car moved behind you, you can't see much. You just know the car is there and you don't know what's going on.
she was trying to...
Let's.
After the car, she hit the Prado a couple of times, then it moved back to some corner. You can't see what's happening there.
Yes. We can speculate.
Yeah.
But we will not say what we think. Everyone has their own opinion.
Everyone has their own thoughts.
But we know what she said.
And you'll see this video at the beginning of this episode, so I mean...
And then she also said something else. She said she was the one who was being targeted. So that if you're
And
not seeing
then
the
she
video,
conveniently put up an M-Pesa pay bill.
Me, that thing, I was so surprised because I don't know. I know, let me tell you, this topic is so, I don't know.
it's marky. You know, also
I know we're going to get every type of
response.
comments and everything. And you know what? It is what it is. Whatever you're thinking, that's on
It is what it
you.
is.
Whatever I'm thinking, that's on me. And luckily, I have a platform
Actually,
to
this
come
is
and talk about it.
this is why we actually do this show.
Yeah, like
Because
One of the
relationships are it's a big reason.
it's actually a very big reason.
Yeah, because you're trying to avoid this type of situations in life where you're with a woman where you've not chosen well, either the man or the woman, and you end up in a situation where you have two kids. The mother is in hospital, she might lose fingers, the father is in jail right now, or you think he's released on
Yeah, he
bail.
was-
Either way, it is not
He's
good
out
for
on
it's not good
bail.
for the kids.
Yeah.
It's not good for the kids. So one of the things we do is we try and avoid this type of situations by vetting the person you might date. But going further.
But even if we're vetting, because they've been together for some time. I mean, I've vetted
They even have a
you.
biashara,
Yeah,
they
like
have
they
what?
have CGA accounts, what they have
Yes.
so many things together. So even if I've vetted you, me, I always say kuna mwisho wa mtu. There's always the end of somebody. Like there's what you can. There's so much stretching you can't
Yes,
stretch.
yes, yes.
And I feel like this was their.
Maze.
Sid, you'll have to do some significant editing.
We'll
No,
just
it's
keep
fine.
quiet.
It is what it is, yo. Like, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
I hope I remember what I was going to say.
You're talking about stretching.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Umesha.
Yeah.
So there's the capacity of you can stretch for only so far, and I feel like this was the time when all this was happening. So I will sit here. I'm always saying I'm not going to just believe you because you've said it.
Yes, yes.
And I mean,
Say it like this: you will not believe someone simply because
You-
of the it's called what, the genitals that
Yes.
they bear.
Even let's say
No, when you get told believe all women, literally they're telling you believe everyone who is of a certain set of genitalia.
maybe if it's for because also the other thing is I don't know if I've ever told you guys there was a story we were doing and I had to go to the police station to like verify things in like books and all those OB things, and believe it or not there are so many also male cases. I just don't know, and I was even asking the cop why isn't it that these stories are out there
like
as
the
much
women.
as the woman has been beaten today and tomorrow
You
it's
can
in
imagine-
national news.
Because I've seen your bro. Your bro is a big guy.
Yeah.
He's a strong guy. Can you imagine if your bro came home and said,
I mean, it's not about the crime.
But I think actually I get a point because
It's about the case
problem
has
is
been
it has
reported.
been reported.
Like msa amekuja akaandika OB, my wife
Yes.
did 1, 2, 3, 4,
we are
5.
discussing, guys, we are discussing why men do not necessarily report.
No. That's what she's saying.
No.
It's reported.
It's
It's in
reported,
the
but why isn't it as big of a story as
Because
the one
even the
for the
police
women?
officers will laugh. If you're a man, if Zola goes and says his wife beat him, let me
That's-
not lie.
that's
Zola made me
already
laugh.
bad.
Before we take it seriously, I will laugh.
That's
and
the
Zola and
problem.
I know a couple of men who get beaten.
Isn't that then
But-
a problem you people have?
Yes, it's
Then that's-
society-wide. But even another thing, it's that's not flashy. For news-wise, it's not flashy.
I feel like, sorry
compared,
to say,
compared to ladies, a lady was being beaten versus a man was being beaten, it's not flashy.
now, can I tell you another thing? I don't believe what you're saying is true. When I was working for Tuko, you know, that stories used to do for like women, you know,
Yeah.
like the way Tuko's stories are aired for,
Yes.
oh, my husband did this and this. So believe it or not, I used to really try as much as possible to look for the male stories.
Yes.
And those male stories would perform way better
Than the female stories.
Because
they
you have
are-
10 women, one man.
Exactly, they're an anomaly.
Yes.
Which
By
that means the flashy one is the man.
By the time a man decides to report, ile kichapo amekuwa akiendiwa, jamaa amekuwa akipigwa kama burudani,
Actually,
alikuwa anapigwa kama isikuti.
this one you should actually add.
And this is
whatever.
where, director, you'll add in something called gender symmetry, intimate partner gender symmetry, which is domestic violence gender symmetry. What that means is, believe it or not, men and women get beaten at roughly equal numbers. So
Imagine.
it might be
After saying
49,
that, I might want to
51,
say, okay.
52, 48. The difference is men don't report. Because me, I won't lie to you. If my son were to come and tell me, Daddy nimepigwa na bibi, I will laugh at him. And I won't laugh at him necessarily. You know, it's not usually a conscious decision.
Can you
No,
hear?
listen, it's not usually
You're
a
not
conscious
feeling like
decision.
you're-
It's those ones of, my guy, if we were born in the 1800s and you are my son in the 1800s, I'd be expecting you to go to war to fight to protect the village. And here you're telling me that the woman you decided to settle down with, anakupiga, aje. And then that is when we move on from instincts and we say, oh, my instinct is to take such a man. I won't take him seriously. Then you take a step back and you say, wait, but, and people don't like hearing this, but civilization has taught me things are not always as they seem. And that's the simple truth of the situation. Because we know, by and large, men are stronger than women. So when you hear a man got beaten by his wife, the first thing that goes through your mind is it's incredulous. I cannot believe a woman managed to beat Chim. How? And then maybe when you finally settle down, you'll expect to hear, well, she beat Chim because Chim didn't fight back.
Yeah, you know what I think that's the other thing. The man maybe is like, I don't want to, because I know as a man, if you're punching me, if I punch you, it's like 10 times a punch.
But if the man is a true feminist, he believes in true equality, equal rights and lefts.
This man.
But actually, so well. I have an answer for you. I've thought about it. Society actually loves protecting women.
That's another thing.
It's something that is
actually, it's instinctual. We have people we know for whom that is the biggest concern. This guy knows I can defend myself perfectly fine. But the minute my wife exits this door, after beating me the whole night, she exits, I'll come out of the door with black eyes, with scratch marks. Everyone will assume her story is right.
That's true.
Even there's actually a crazy story my mom used to give me that used to make me laugh, where she was telling me about a woman who used to hit her husband, but his son was screaming in the house.
And so when the neighbors come, they're like,
Zola, we had a neighbor like that. Do not mention names. We had a neighbor like that. The wife would pummel him, as in beat him like she's kneading dough. And the wife is screaming. So when even the watchman would run to the door, they would expect that the wife, the way she's screaming, what's going on is insane. Like, this woman is Anadolumiwa.
So then the other thing comes to, if honestly, I'm always saying, even I don't even need that man to hit me. It's just a small sign. I used to say, you bang the tables, like we're arguing and that. Then, you punch the wall, I'm out. Immediately,
how many times have we been at your house where you and I are arguing, and I cross a line and you bang the table?
That's the two of you. Those are two men. Two men you can fight.
My point being, these are natural reactions.
I don't care. One day that wall will be my face.
No. The difference is, that is hyperbole. Actually, as someone told me I should be pronouncing it, it's hyperbole. Right? What I mean is this. People get offended. You do something, and this is the biggest problem with our society. We autocorrected. We went all the way left wing to the point we had the pussification of men and women. We became pusillanimous. That's a word, babe. It means making weaker. Yeah, the short form is pussy. When you make someone weaker, more useless.
Yeah,
they become pusillanimous. And the biggest problem with that is, listen, we talk all the time and we cross each other's boundaries.
Fact.
That is part of being a human being. And sometimes someone will show you that they are upset by stomping. Someone will show you they're upset by hitting something. The only time I would accept, I have a daughter, and the only time I'd accept my daughter coming home and telling me things got thick was when he threatened her. And I will teach my daughter, the truth of the matter is, unless this man was just this man was crazy from the jump. Yeah? Is if you're arguing with a man and the man tells you, I'll beat you, walk away. If this man tells you, he's trying to tell you, I'll slap you, walk away. But if he slams the table, that is a man struggling to control himself. And I'll tell my daughter, when that happens, end the conversation, walk out.
Yeah, even me, that's what I'm telling you. Like, go, I prefer you go.
You don't necessarily have
hit the table in another room or go somewhere else. Because I feel like you
cannot police reaction.
You're showing me that I can,
actually agree.
You cannot police reaction.
I agree with Lily on this, and let me explain why. We are trying to avoid being in a situation where someone just snaps and you end up in a worse situation.
Zola,
now, let me finish.
Police reaction.
Let me finish. You cannot police reaction, but I can police my reaction to your reaction. And how can I do that? If I don't know the extent of this person, what if the next time she said, he'll not just bang a table. My
It
face
will
will be
be
the table.
me,
Listen,
yeah,
what
because
you
of
do
the
is-
anger.
The way you guys are arguing.
Here's the thing. Many times in life, you're given, you normally laugh at men who are simps. As in, this chick has played, you've sent her fair shall not come to your place. Normally, there are warnings that chick will not come. She was playing you.
Yeah.
Now, you'll be a damn woman if one day you're beaten and someone asks you, were there warning signs before? Or you used to do this when you was reacting, you used to do this. Someone will tell you, this guy
Those
already
were
showed
the-
you.
like his
No, I'm
You
saying,
people tend to infantilize not just women but humanity. You tend to treat people like they are incapable of addressing an issue when it's raised in a calm manner. Here's what I mean. Listen, you cannot police reactions. There's something that you'll do and I'll bang the table. There's a reason I brought up this example between Zola and I. There are times I'm at Zola's digs and I'll cross a line and bang a table and be upset. Should I cut you off as a friend?
Because the two of you can fight. You're two men.
No. The difference is,
You have power.
listen, the difference is I am an adult. When I see nimemfikisha mpaka, I've gotten this guy to a point where like his threshold is about to break, the dam is about to break. You know what I'll do? Take a step back. We will revisit when everyone is calm. And that is the essence of a relationship. You people seem
actually,
to think...
you've gone very far. Actually, you've talked a lot. Let me tell you why you're going very far. The thing is this. We're not saying that banging of the table ends a relationship. You've gone too far. I said many symptoms. You've already seen how someone has been behaving. Before someone is banging the table, you've most likely dealt with them for months.
Yeah, that's not the
You've not
first
dealt with them. That's not the
argument.
first argument.
Yeah.
You've dealt with them. If you close out someone just because they have done one losing of their temper, that doesn't make any sense. And let me add something more perspective. Maybe they have done it before. They have done something else. You've told them, hey, what's going on here? Why do you behave like this? If you've talked to someone now after they have done that and they're calm, and this is how they always behave. Because at the end of the day,
but you're adding new context.
Now, that's what I'm saying.
That's not what we're debating.
Because you have cut me short. You've cut me short. My point was, I'm not just using one thing. That's why I said, if someone has gone and asked you, before you are beat, what was this guy doing? No, not just one thing. Many things. It's the collective. Sometimes someone can lose their
Okay, that
temper.
one I'll agree with you. It's a collective.
The collective. That's
But
the thing we're
my
saying.
My point was, we have to use discernment.
Agreed.
Even you have to be aware of how you fed into the situation that arose.
Which is okay.
Which is, we are
We're not
That is
debating
okay,
that.
that is okay.
But just
That's
for
okay.
me, it's even you, in as much as sometimes the anger may just take over even the thoughts. Like before you process your thoughts, the anger might come and take over. But you also have to think, what are you doing? Like, you have to be in a situation where you hold yourself and think, if I do something, it could be worse than what it is right now. So for me, I'm just like,
What
that's
you
what I'm
guys are
telling you.
preaching-
Even banging the table, even if it's the first time, Zola, I'm not lying to you.
But even, let's
Only
say-
I'll go.
What you guys are
and-
preaching is called stoicism. Stoicism is where someone is completely in control of their emotions, ideally to the point where you're nearly dead.
No.
That's-
leave
no.
alone
And
stoicism.
what I'm saying is, bro, life happens.
Ndugu, we have not disagreed
as
with
long
that.
as someone does not literally threaten your person or try and hit you and miss, that
In
one
fact,
immediately walk away.
let me give you
But
an
if someone bangs the table, you are an adult enough to know, baby, okay, things have gotten heated. Babe, I'm done. We'll talk
Can I
later.
give you
Why
an
is it
can I-
this
wait,
banger living?
wait, can I give you actually an
Why
example
am I the one
that
to
happened
live?
in real life? One of the reasons David Beckham left Man U was because he had a bad defeat, I think. Ferguson, the coach, came and he threw a boot. The boot hit Beckham.
Yeah, on the eyebrow.
Yes. That solidified Beckham's reason to leave.
I love that.
Now the thing is this.
Listen, you see, that's
Wait.
why
Now,
there's
the thing
a
is this.
problem.
My point was...
Now,
we
tell the full story.
Wait.
From all accounts, it was an accident. He was
Wait.
he was not targeting
No
Beckham.
problem.
No. If you're going to use an example, tell the full account.
It was an accident. He was not targeting him. But...
It doesn't matter.
The point was...
Listen, you know I can reach for something above you, and let's say I'm
Can I
reaching
actually
for a
finish
shelf
my
above
point?
you, and like a can of paint hits you.
Can I finish
Now
my
we are
point?
over.
No,
Can I finish my
that
point?
one, you were not angry to reach there.
It was an accident. You guys, I'm finishing my point. The thing is this.
It wasn't an accident?
It was an... It was an accident.
It was an accident.
We have agreed on that.
Both parties later came and said it was an accident.
We have to for the
accident. Like,
Listen.
Listen.
You guys. Actually, I'm not finishing my point. You keep on cutting me short.
okay.
My point is very simple. It was an accident. Even Beckham admitted it, but he said that was the reason I left. Now, this is a big thing. Ferguson was well known for his temper.
Yes.
That had never happened. Now,
and it's never happened again since then.
But my point is this. Now, if you're in a relationship like that, something like that happens after all these temper tantrums before. Ferguson never used to lose it like that. That time, does not matter. That time he lost it. My thing is, and you guys are not getting, it's not just on the man on this one. Even you as a chick.
Understand something. I'm sorry.
Even you as a chick, if you know you're not the person to keep quiet if you're dealing with a person like this, or actually you as a dude, if you know you're dealing with a chick and maybe that's how you react, and you know the chick will not deal with you like that, move on. This is advice for two people. If none of you can deal with each other's tempers or how you act in your worst, move on, both of you.
I think that's true.
Both of you.
You need to understand each other.
Yes.
Can I respond? Do you have your permission?
Yes, it's okay.
That was a bad example. As iron sharpens iron, so too does man sharpen man. Those were two men. Okay? You could argue power dynamics differences, but those were two men. Beckham was already a superstar. Beckham could have retaliated. My point being this, Beckham accepted it was a mistake. Why? Because when we look at pattern, it's not something Fergie had done before and not something that he has done after. Sour.
But he left.
Which is okay. He left because he's a bitch. One of the things that Beckham wanted was Beckham wanted to be a superstar. And that's something Ferguson used to say. Ferguson, just like with Klopp and Coutinho, Ferguson told him, you can stay and you can become a legend at Man U. Instead, Beckham decided to chase superstardom with his wife in Real. And indeed, right now when you think of Beckham, you don't think one of the best wingers that ever played, one of the best midfielders that ever played. What do we think? We think the superstar that owns Inter Miami, right? It's the same way. Well, he was more successful. With Coutinho's situation, it was more like Coutinho he screwed it over, right? My point being, Beckham was a man dealing with a man. You do not have an excuse for you to run away as a man dealing with a man, because if we look at your ancestors, Beckham's ancestors were fighting wars, Maze. Like, he's meant to be a warrior.
I think he's allowed.
Building empires.
If he's allowed to do
he's allowed if the one word comes into play, which is what? Pusillanimous. Okay? My point being this, and understand something, guys. I am not supporting, I will never make an excuse for a man that bashes women, ever. My point is, relationships are dynamic. To the extent where human beings don't just exist in a vacuum where someone just wakes up and starts beating you, unless he has a traumatic brain injury.
That is what I'm saying.
My point is, a guy will get upset. We are arguing, and we are acting like these shorties are not implicit. There's a reason I brought up intimate partner violence.
Actually,
because usually, according to studies, hold on, I'm now saying this for the benefit of the audience. According to studies, women usually are the ones who escalate domestic arguments. The difference is a woman will escalate it, because let's be honest, a guy will tell the shorty, we are Tana Mimi. What Tana Mimi? She'll keep poking. If she keeps poking, then the guy lashes out, which I'm not yet making an excuse for him lashing out. What I'm saying is, when you see a guy bang a table and say, what Tana Mimi, leave the man alone. Even I will teach my daughter, in the interest of self-preservation, arguments get heated. When they get heated, learn to walk away.
Even you, as the man, also teach yourself to walk away. Don't always try. The problem I'm having with this is, and I agree with what you're saying, because women can be, you can even start words. I know even me for a fact as Elisha, I can use my words that will really make you feel like, bruh, and you're
just that word small. Small.
Yeah, and because you don't have the power of the words, the power that you feel you have is to come and hit me. Imagine kama dem anakufanya hiyo nini, wewe ukimwambia niwache, wewe pia get out, just go. I feel like you need to also, both parties,
it takes two to tango.
Yeah, I'm not tetting either or, but both of you need to leave. Like,
But
just
there's a
leave.
study from 1991, Graham Cavan and Archer, that shows exactly what I'm saying. Usually, whenever we'll have this up as well. Usually, whenever a domestic disturbance situation escalates, the female escalates it. Do not get me wrong. I am not saying that the man retaliating is right. What I'm saying is the female will escalate the situation. Once it's, as we saw in the video, allegedly, what you saw in the video, what you see is allegedly. When the woman allegedly hits the man, allegedly reverses, and then allegedly hits the man again, and then allegedly reverses into a ditch, which is the only reason she allegedly stopped. And then the man allegedly goes and checks on his car, and then allegedly goes and checks on his wife, who just allegedly tried to run him over. Ideally, women escalate, and I'm not saying like guys, if you're going to be based, let's be based. Let us be based. Let's tell the truth, and the truth is the escalation usually happens because of who?
You say the lady. Now the thing is, I'm looking at solutions. The solution is very simple. If both people you realize who you are, know who you are, know the person you're dealing with. Yes. Yeah. What we are saying now, solution looking forward. There are people, walking away will not fix the solution. That's what I'm saying. Do a proper, there's a discernment, a proper study of your relationship, who you are, who they are. Can they change? Can I change? If you can't, leave that relationship. That is my point. If you can work it out, where you figure a place where when the man says niache and the chick can say sawa, you can work it out. But if none of you can figure that place, because
I agree with you.
That's actually saying.
Me, what I tell men is this: one of the most dangerous things that happens to a man is a man thinks he can tolerate disrespect. As a man, let your word. There's a reason our fathers used to tell us your word is a law. What that would mean is your word is final as a man. As a man, the minute you tell a shori, niaje, wachana na mimi, she gets just one opportunity to make a blunder. And then you say, The minute she opens her mouth again, that relationship is over. Why am I saying this? Because the ramifications of you dealing with that situation, the way Brayo, Kevo would deal with me, utenda jela.
But now I have a question for the both of you. Sawa, assuming we are arguing, Zola, you and I, and I'm telling you, what, why aren't you throwing words back at me? Why is it that you want to,
Will you take this or I take this?
Like, I'm throwing words at you. Why aren't you on equal, I don't know how to put it, like, why aren't we on equal grounds? Then throw back words at me. Why
a woman's tongue is our biggest weapon.
Which is fine. Throw words at me.
Is like a man's
because, I'm doing, the smallest thing is words. Like, we can, as compared to stabbing me, those words
do not get me wrong. I do not make an excuse for men. Also, another thing you guys need to understand is women have a higher propensity of using weapons, which is why lesbian relationships are the most violent relationships, number one. Number two, lesbian relationships have a higher propensity of weapon use, by the way. Now, my point is this.
Answer me.
My point is this. I do not condone a man holding a weapon. You're trying to get a weapon, and this is the unfortunate truth of life. Sometimes me trying to get a weapon away, not just from a woman, for example, for you, but me trying to get a weapon away from Zola will mean I get cut.
Okay, that's true.
He gets cut. That is just the nature of weapon violence, except maybe if it's a projectile weapon like a pistol or a projectile weapon like a bow and arrow, right? If it's a blade, if it's a rungu, for me to get the rungu from Zola, I'll be clapped once or twice. For me to get even a panga from Zola, I'll have to accept I'll get hacked a couple of times before I can disarm him. My point is this, and this is where you and the three of us are going to find common ground. As a man, and you need to accept this, as a man, you get to warn a shori once. Wachana na mimi, we'll talk about this later. She gets only one chance to break that command. If she breaks that command, treat her like an aggressive dog. Leave. An aggressive dog only gets one chance to to break a command. You will tell a dog that is running away, for example, Socrates, heel. Socrates, sit. If it does not sit, you know what you do with a dog that's different from a human being? You will have to manhandle it, bring it back, either by yanking the leash, or you will literally have to manhandle it and strangle it. If that does not happen, that dog must be put down, which is a second warning. Same thing with women and a relationship. If a woman does not yield to her man's directive to stop, that relationship has to be put down. The man does not don't get me wrong, because I need to say this because I noticed KOX feminists are some of the dumbest, but the ones who are dumb are the ones on TikTok. TikTok feminists wanakonga tu ajinga. You're foolish. TikTok Kenyan feminists are foolish. The point I'm trying to make is this: control. Number one, we will talk later. She's yelling. We will talk later.
Leave. If she's yelling, leave her.
If she says a second time, walk away.
No,
if she blocks
question.
the door, and this is something that you guys are not addressing. Zola, what do you do if a woman blocks the door for you?
Actually, that is the craziest one.
Oh, yeah.
Many mamas block the door.
Yeah, you take out your phone and record.
Yes.
Take out your phone, go live. Have evidence where you're telling her, please leave me alone, please leave me alone.
But why do we have to? I think all
Actually,
of us
I'm
need
not
to play our part.
crazy.
We all just have to accept.
I have to answer that question you asked.
The first one.
Yes.
I'm throwing words at you.
Yes.
Why are you throwing words back?
Imagine your man is a person who throws words back at you. You can't even respect that man.
Then that's what I'm saying. Imagine, let's throw words and then
That's what I'm saying.
tuachane
That's what I'm
basi.
saying. You can't respect a man like that. Even you will not even have fallen for that guy in the first place. Have you ever seen a man boycott at you like you are at him? You will lose respect for that man.
It becomes a chihuahua.
You're doing for him your head like this, and then he's doing the same thing. But you can't even respect a man like that. If you
Also, you'll ask him, why are you gay?
Damn.
the thing is now, most men, because when I'm in an argument, most times I'll have to go into my rational point of view, my logical point of view. The woman is normally in her emotional
Yes,
state.
very
Now, someone who's in an emotional state cannot be expected to give out the best arguments. So me, I have to stay in my rational state and say, okay, we are trying to analyze this, we're trying to get this, we're trying to get this out. Now, if I start matching your energy, we will not solve any the question at the moment, what the issue is. So I try to be rational.
There must be masculine
Yes.
energy.
If I go that direction of yours, we will not solve anything. We will not solve anything. That's
I'm
why I
not
cannot
saying
keep-
we argue, but I'm just saying, like, let the fight be fair.
That's the thing.
How will
is-
the fight be fair? You guys have ignored
In
what I'm
fair,
saying.
in that, if
A
I'm
woman's weapon is her tongue.
No, I agree with you.
A man's
So-
weapon is his fist. You cannot listen. You don't see the Ukraine. You don't see the Ukraine telling Russia you're unfair for using your weapons, even though Russia is actually trying to tell the Ukraine that. But ideally, if it's war, there's a reason we say all's fair in love and.
In fact, Chim, let's take it further. There's a reason why when men get to a place where they're now GBs are 9, we don't stay in that point. It'll always end up here.
Either it escalates or it de-escalates. And it will de-escalate very unsatisfactorily for observers, because it won't be at the... You arrive at something called a detente, where you'll see both men keep quiet. Because now they know, beyond here...
We're going to fight.
Then fight. Me and I don't have a problem with you guys fighting
but
the tone.
that's what I'm saying.
Now me, I'm telling
Listen,
you,
wait.
but now we are not. Look at me, I'm a woman.
That's
Guys,
the thing. Hakuna accountability
Yes.
hapa.
Apana, me
You're not taking
nasema, I'm taking accountability. That's what I've said. Even for us babes, we need to, you see, like the way you said, how the babe will lock the door. And I'm like, why do we have to get all the way there? Like,
That's
if
the point.
like all of us just need to.
And that's what the guy is trying to do. That's what I'm saying. First
That's
of
why
all,
we talked about
when,
the escalation.
when you're starting fast, okay, something has happened. Maybe you've gone for a girls' night out. I'm upset. Come and tell babes, I told you not to do these things. You GBs me. Then we start having a back and forth. Now you're raising your temperature. I'm raising my temperature. If I match your energy and you match my energy, we'll figure a place where none of us is seeing the other person's point of view. And if I start screaming at you and screaming at me, we're not going to get a solution. So I try to relax. And if I get upset with you, most times for men, the fists become the solution. For women, it's not fists, it's the
words.
cutting words. That's why women, when they fight each other, it's
They
normally
go
mdomo.
for the jugular with their
Mdomo.
words.
Yes.
Also, guys, subscribe, like, share, subscribe.
For men, this is the physical. So that's why many times when they say niache, he has figured a place where
He knows after this.
yes, I can't keep on having a back and forth with you because we are not going anywhere. Let's do it afterwards. And the reason why we are doing this is because I think part of the issue is just solution. It's solutions
Even
for
for
people.
me, I'm like,
Lily.
we need to, in this situation, this alleged situation, the way the thing was, I tried to ask myself, this guy was already outside the car.
Yes.
And then the babe came and she's hitting the car.
Yes.
I think at this point, I don't know why this man opted to go to where she was. Like, I already know
In
you're
his
being
nature
you're being
to protect
okay,
her.
quote unquote, you're being crazy.
In his nature to protect her, he went to check on her.
I don't
is
think
why
that was
if
checking.
you notice,
It's a mother of 2 kids.
yes,
But I don't think
is
that
the
was
mother of his
checking.
kids. He
That's
went
like
to check up on her.
me, I defend myself. Like, you know,
No.
I know you're
He
coming
went-
for me
If you even
and
saw his
run.
body language, he didn't rush. He didn't bum rush her car. What he did was he went to check on her.
So even if I think removed the key of one of the
Yeah.
cars. He removed because
He left with the key because he was like, "Look, I know this woman,"
The
which
key
is a
to his
problem
car or her
that men
car?
have. The key to her car, and this is a big problem with men.
see
Men
that.
think they can
Yes.
save the
Yes, he
world,
did that.
and sometimes, as a man, you need to know when to walk away. Not sometimes. I usually say this, and I need everyone to understand this. After you've subscribed, after you've shared, and after you've liked, I need men to understand: weak men do everything but walk away. You see what you've just described is the same thing I would do. I tend to score very highly on sociopathy tests, but my thing is always I walk away.
Lily is not shocked. Oh, you're shocked. You're
What?
stunned.
I walk away. You
Yeah.
see what you're describing is a very sociopathic solution. I would never have gone to check up on
Even
her.
me as-
I would have left her regardless of the outcome. Whether she lives,
Whether
you know
she
what?
follows me with
My
the
job
car, me I
here
go.
is, no, that's different.
But you know,
different.
that's the situation
My
would
job
have been
here
that.
is not to paint myself like a crazy individual, but I would never have gone to check up on her. But there are good men.
But that's not
There
being
are
good.
men who care about their women despite their women trying to kill them.
I don't think that's being good. That's what I was telling you in the
Allegedly.
beginning. You have to also think about, we're in a situation now. After this, it could either be better or worse or nothing. So for me, it's I wish he thought, and I think people need to just, that thing for walking away legit. Because I'm thinking, even if it was me, and it's me and a girl fighting, and me, I know for sure, me, if it's, but I'm not going to, if that baby is coming at me with the car, the first thing I think is getting to my car and going. Like,
You guys
I'll
Listen, the
go,
biggest
go,
problem
go,
is
go.
you're judging men as defective women. You
Me,
see,
I'm a woman of emotion.
listen,
Me, I'm the
listen.
one who's supposed to go and be like,
Exactly.
what's wrong with you?
Men
Why are you coming
and
at
women
me?
operate differently. A man will want to provide and protect. What we saw in Elias Njeru was his protective instinct.
What was
That
he
is a
protecting?
man-
I'm trying to
That is a man
understand.
who went to check on her.
Why?
Beyond. That's what you're not
What
getting.
are you checking
Listen,
on?
Listen,
Everyone
listen.
help me. No, I want you to
You will
explain
not
from the
understand it
beginning.
because we are wired differently as men and
That's
women.
why I'm asking you.
Actually,
explain
Zola,
to
that
me
was
like
a
a kid.
based man.
in fact, let me take
That
it
was
further.
a big
Explain to me like a
let
kid.
me take it further.
Your life
He
is
went
is
to
in
check on
danger.
the mother of his children.
Amunielewi.
Listen, what you saw is the same reason a man will jump in front of a bullet for his wife or for the mother of his children.
Actually, let me take it further for you, Lily. This guy, listen, if a man has given you kids and you have lived together, that love, even though you might be, you're not together anymore, there's still something that connects
Love
you to.
is there,
yes.
true.
And the thing is this, our best
Even if
instinct
he
is
doesn't love you, he loves his children.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he knows
Yes.
an extension of me showing I care for my children is by taking care of their batshit crazy, allegedly, mother.
But my question is what you do want to listen to me. Zola, at this point, this babe coming to hit your car, you know my life as Elias is in danger. Because she's coming to hit me as what it looked like. It's like she's coming to hit the guy. So you know your life is in danger. So why would you go
You've
to
just
the
described
danger?
a protector.
No, where would you go and
Zola,
Actually, I have an answer for her.
Where would you
she's
go and be
describing
like,
a protector.
"Muna-
A protector
Wait.
would throw his life away to give you the opportunity to survive.
No, let me take it further.
What
further
did
for
you
you.
survive?
Okay, here's the thing. Many times, it's the reason why men who are in abusive relationships will stay there. They think they can handle it.
Or
They
they
think-
are protecting their children.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
know 3 men who are there because they are protecting their children.
So he thinks this thing, even at that point, I don't think he thought he was going to go into the stabbing thing and all that.
I
Yes.
went from the start.
yes.
We don't even
I think,
know. That's
I
the
think
most
this has
happened.
happened before.
Oh,
I think this has happened
maybe
before.
if you say that.
So these people, even for him to go, they said he went coming to get into he got the keys. This this might have happened before.
He probably got the keys before she unleashed a weapon.
Something happened. These guys have gone through it before. So he
And
was
now
like,
he's not, I know how to deal with
yes, I know how to deal with this thing.
Okay, maybe if you
It's
say
very
that.
possible.
Also,
Okay, I get you
guys,
now.
you are underestimating a man's drive to protect.
I'm not actually, that one I agree with you.
A man will try to protect a woman even from her own stupidity.
Yes.
Now, if you say that,
it's called Captain Save.
Now,
You know
guys,
the phrase.
the only thing I'm going to ask, I have a question I need Lily to answer. Why didn't the feminists on KOX or Facebook or, because there are a lot of feminists who litter the media landscape, why didn't they take back their nonsense when the CCTV video?
I also had the same question, I won't lie. I was in the same. I've said it here before, and I've sat on this chair not once or twice and said, I know what feminism means, but being a feminist in Kenya is, I think, a different definition, to be honest.
Because Kenyan feminists are usually low IQ.
I asked myself,
Kenyan feminists are low IQ.
I've not said that's she who said that.
Subscribe.
And there's somebody who
share this with the Kenyan feminist.
When the stories were coming out now, like on X, I almost said Twitter, that's the same. On X were coming out, and you said even there's a picture of her holding, because even in the news when we were hearing the story being reported, it was
he's at fault.
Yeah, and also her fingers, she's lost her fingers. Like she had already lost her fingers. But if you see the way she's holding the pay bill number, you can see her fingers.
Well, there's a possibility that she does.
They were saying she might lose.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's a possibility. But like Lily is saying, when Kenyan feminists, including the weak male feminists, reported on the story, what did they say?
I don't know what they said.
She has lost her fingers.
Oh, yeah. So that was the news. It
was hyperbole.
Like that's what I had in the news.
From Kenyan feminists.
So when now I've lost my train of thought.
Feminists.
So when the story was now on X, and there are so many. Actually, the thing that I saw on X this time was women saying it's so sad that such a situation that has come up has made people who actually go through it, people who've gone through assault in very many ways, because there's sexual, there's violence, there's all these assaults, they report, and now it starts being questioned because of such stories. And there's a woman there's the babe for Sikime, I'm forgetting her name. Njeri, I think. I think that's her name. She was asked, why aren't you speaking now that we have now new evidence? Because this evidence came, I think, a day later.
Yeah.
And she said they are cooking the video. Actually, it took a day to cook the video.
Low IQ responses.
Said, cook?
I did not even hear that one.
I'll look for that tweet and show you. I was like, I'll look for it and make sure we even put it.
You said her name is?
It's the lady, the head of Usikimi. I'm forgetting her
name.
Low
IQ. What's the low IQ lady's name?
I don't know. I'm not calling her low IQ. But I was so surprised.
You don't have to call her. A reaction tells us. A reaction betrays
that it took them a day to cook the video. I said, how are we cooking this? Like, I would want to support you,
babes. That's a low IQ response.
I would want to do everything for the babes, for the women, but no, come on. How are we cooking this? So for me, what I would conclude by saying is, we just when say in whatever situation you guys are going through, and if it's not working for you as a lady or as a man, I don't think you need to revenge in the form of just making this person's life so miserable.
Agreed.
I watched a movie Juicy for Idris Elba. I think it's called Daddy's Little Girls. It's an old movie.
It was a very nice movie.
Yeah, and he was accused of what did they say on TikTok? Essaying. He was accused of essaying a babe, which he didn't. It was all consensual, and because he didn't want to be in a relationship with her, she told the father that he essayed me, and he ended up going to prison, doing all those things. You have
no idea what they do. You see, that movie did not really depict what happens.
It was just a small part
to men when they go to prison for
essaying.
That's essay is sexual assault. For the people who don't know, you have no idea what they do to men who are accused of preying upon women and children. That man will be worn as a cock warmer by all the men in prison.
Oh damn!
Like, it is terrible what happens to such men, which is understandable if they are actually guilty. If a man is guilty of essaying women and children, understandable. The worst thing that can happen is for an innocent man to be worn as a condom by all the men in prison, that is terrible.
Also, there's on that question, I think there's something else that should be added. I don't think the biggest problem I think we have with these radical feminists, or just most of the feminists I've encountered, is they have no compassion for men.
Yeah, they're misandrists.
Yeah, so because they don't see men as humans, they see women always as a victim class. They will never see a fair story. And that's a big problem I have with the feminism we have today. This one where they do not want facts to speak. They just want it to be women speaking, men's voices, they don't care. Because at the end of the day, you lose a lot of support when you always jump in on when men have done wrong, or when a man has done wrong and it's proven. But when there's actually some evidence to show the man has not done wrong, you still don't come back and say, by the way,
and correct yourself.
You look like judge, jury, and executioner without knowing all the facts. You actually
without a conscience, without having the humility to admit when you're wrong. And
it's very messed up.
This brings us to two things. Number one, with what you're saying is 100%, because currently Kenya is in the midst of this media frenzy, this media push of the narrative of femicide. And we've had an entire conversation around that, which we will advise you to check out. The link will be in the description below. But also, when we talk about the best way to deal with such allegations, Zol and I had a conversation. That time you are not available. Zol and I had a conversation. The link will be below. We need you to check that out as well. When we talk about what to do with a false allegation.
Yeah.
Right? But
also how to just avoid being in a situation where...
The unfortunate truth is, when we talk about believe all women, that mantra that came from this cockamamie BS called Me Too, is you get to a point where the minute a woman just points a finger at you, an accusatory finger at you, which is what you've described, where like the movie you're talking about, Idris Elba, it's called regret grape, where a woman feels, I regret what happened, and then retroactively decides that was SA. Right? So then we have to begin to ask ourselves, how do you deal with that? Where now the floor is both of you guys. How do you think you should deal with?
Don't forget, it's the two things. Because this one is not SA. This is domestic violence. I think we should.
It really is both, because you'll find, and the reason I say it really is both, is you'll find videos where a woman will even hit herself on a wall, go out and claim to the police.
You make it both of them. You make it both of them.
Headbutt a wall and then go out and say domestic violence.
Now that's what I'm saying. It's both of them in terms of how do you deal with an allegation. And we're talking about allegations that are not true. At the end of the day, we're not talking about the ones that are true.
Yeah, because the base podcast does not support becoming physical either with your wife or your husband.
Yes.
I was actually going to say it doesn't. I don't think there's anything that would make you hit somebody. Like, just I want people to learn to walk away. And I'm saying this because
there are a lot of justifications for violence. If I find you with my child, I am justified to use any means necessary to protect my child.
Or someone comes, imagine, have you heard of these stories where
life is nuanced. Life is nuanced.
Yeah, someone comes and there's a story.
That's a different thing. It's not love or...
No. There's somewhere someone comes and pours oil on you. Pours. This self-defense.
Yeah,
self-defense should be allowed. If someone comes, they're trying to stab you.
You hold the knife.
You defend yourself.
That's what you guys were saying. You would try and get the knife.
That's what I'm saying.
We said in public, and I've always said this, in public when I'm at a bar or at a club or even at an event and a woman decides to become belligerent with me, I don't usually engage them. Not because I'm scared, not because I cannot maintain my safety, but because I am well aware of the realities of 2024, 2025, 26, and beyond. Which is what? The minute I will be seen in public dealing with the danger, it is very easy for her then to cry self-defense. And they will listen to her before they listen to me.
Can you give some of the solutions now? There are two of them. The harder one is on for SA. The one for SA because if it's regret, what do you do there? There's a solution we had given before. The dismount has been done very well. Do not sleep with a woman, then you discard her like she's nothing. You leave someone feeling very bad afterwards, like you are an object or
Like,
something. Yes. Treat someone with respect afterwards.
And record.
Yeah.
If you notice,
Record what?
Egonga was never Egonga Baltazar. I salute you, big man. He has never been accused of.
Yes,
Essay.
but now
But then if it would have been, if there were no videos, it would have been a different story. You're actually right.
But there are women who will not accept you to record. So what do you do? In those situations, you have to have the text morning after text.
Or record secretly and then
No. The morning after text is very important.
So good morning.
Yes, I don't know. Hey, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed doing this to you. Yes, it works. Especially with that chick, you put in a performance. Don't go there and do some nonsense and do go.
So bad.
No, for real. Don't go
And that's
do
the
that.
unfortunate risk of when you decide to do one night stands, when you decide to chipo, whatever you call
you
it.
have to be careful with that stuff. Make sure you do that morning after text. Some text afterwards. What did you enjoy about this? Blah blah blah.
Also,
so
just to make her feel like.
Also,
So she
to
responds.
add on to what Zola said,
Oh, then if she goes and says something like "bruh,"
Zola, to add on to what you've said, for the low IQ feminists in the back, when she says no, it is no.
Yeah.
I need your low IQ feminist sister to understand what we have said. We are not justifying anything that is untoward.
And
We
this-
are just
yeah.
saying it was consensual. Make sure you have evidence that it was all consensual.
The point of this was for anyone who is doing it the right way. The right way means consensual. Both of you are adults. Both of you are doing. In essence, the law has accepted it and mmekubaliana. There's no forcing someone. Now, additionally, from there, you have to make sure that it's good to be seen even with that person.
Really?
Yes, it's good to be seen.
Let me be honest with you. Zola, sometimes, as a former bachelor, sometimes
kuna kitu umegongo unasema hawezi ona
Wait. The reason I'm saying that is like this American girl is supposed to be confirmed as a secretary for defense.
Gates.
Yeah, he's called Hesgeth.
Not Gates. Hesketh is defense. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. The soldier. Yeah.
The girl's been accused of something he did in 2017. But lucky for him, there's so much evidence against him because
No, but then you see
saw
Zola,
him with
Zola. You see, if you bring that up, then I will bring up the case. The very complicated case of Conor McGregor, where there is a lot of video evidence of the woman before and after it's no longer alleged because in civil court she won, but before and after the SA incident, right? She danced, she called her boyfriend to celebrate, like she did so much.
I get
But
that.
then there's video evidence of all of this, and still Conor McGregor was found guilty in a civil court. Understandably, civil court, the
threshold is very
burden
low.
of proof is usually very, very low.
But the point
But
was,
also,
I was adding
Zola,
on to it.
I think the only way you can save yourself is that
And she
one
sued
you're
him
saying
6 years after
for
the
the
fact.
messages, for her accepting that this actually was me and you. Because even if we talk about you being seen with this
No, you
person,
guys
this
are not
could
dating
be,
me.
wait,
You're not-
I tell you, this could be your husband who you've been married for 10 years, and
fact, that
still
woman was
guess
married.
what? This man could still essay you even in marriage. So that one could, people would say, I like you see husband yako.
No, I get me. I was saying, the point is to build burden of proof. Okay, so let me finish. I'm trying to add more and more. So you've started with the morning after.
Oh, so you have more
Yes.
than the morning after. Okay.
People saw me with this chick. We were having a good time. Nini. And guys saw it. But you already have that morning after. It's
I
a
think
very,
that's the
very
only
important.
one that
If you
can
could do
save
the
you.
video thing, but most chicks don't accept
No, here's
it.
the thing, Zola, that I strongly tell guys. You do not agree with the video thing, and I'm sure neither do you. I strongly believe as a man, you should have at least some sort of recording within your premises.
But is that
Why?
even accepted in court? Because
Look, it is not accepted for you to leak it, but if someone accuses you of doing something, then you can tell
better
the
than-
court.
than-
It's
Than
better. I'd
nothing.
rather have it,
Than
and
have
then the court
nothing.
dismiss my evidence than have nothing.
But
Okay.
don't
Another
do
thing
that.
I was going to tell
don't
you.
just secretly record somebody like.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
That's
I'm not saying,
unnecessary.
and here's the biggest problem with also, because I do accept that a lot of young Kenyan men wanakwanga pia na ujinga, where they'll record and then they leak it on Telegram, which gives it a bad name. But as we have said repeatedly, time and time again, the based podcast does not talk to the lower common denominator of men.
Amen.
We do not talk
Not you saying
to the
amen.
dumb facts.
It's the truth.
Us guys talk to high value men or men looking to uplift their value in
Yes,
society.
yes.
And what we teach these men is Do not secretly record this and then leak it.
This for your protection.
This is simply for your protection.
Even
have a
government
data bank.
did not leak that stuff.
He didn't leak it actually. It was
the police.
It was being investigated. And I highly suspect that there was someone who saw his wife there.
Or his daughter. I'm at the chief's G. What the daughter was
now,
there.
That being said and done, we're not saying record to release, because the men who do that are low IQ, low integrity, low testosterone men.
It's called revenge P.
Yeah, and I do not support. I can't say about I do not support that. In fact, I'm the type of man who, if ever I found out you're one of the guys who leaked these things, I'll kick you in your face. Literally, try me. I will kick you in your face, and we do not support violence. This is metaphorical. This is all metaphorical, right? But I do not support people who take advantage of people like this. Yeah, don't leak it.
There's another one I should give that is very boring, but it might work for people who are not desperate for mamas. Have a consensual agreement. Like the way Dave Chappelle used to enjoy. He did it on a skit. And even, I think Chris Brown does it.
After the situation.
No,
they sign
before the
an NDA and a form.
Yes.
Well, you have to be high status and high net worth.
That's why I said you're not desperate.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're not desperate.
Another alternative could always be just, bro, like, let's be honest. Not everyone is in a position where they can get women on a whim. Bruh, just pay to play. Just be honest with your situation. If you know you are a low-tier man, just pay to play.
But in just any situation, other than even the essay, that's even just violence itself, how do you protect yourself now?
That one, Tim gave us a very nice answer. No, the first one is, if you've seen it escalating, run away. The way Joseph ran from Potiphar's wife.
I'm so dead.
That's number one. If you can run away, run away. And don't be seen by that person you're fighting with for maybe 2-3 days. Let things to clear. Then when you go back to their place, go with someone or people.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, if you're not in that position where you can run away, start recording. Start recording. Very important. And record as you're calling someone.
Let me tell you the truth. If there's a man who exposed how low IQ Kenyan men can be, kwanza nyi Waluya. One. Waluya, when you saw Wetangula run to the police and record that his wife was battering him, his wife was beating him, his wife alikuwa anakanyaga shingo, and we laughed. What we did not realize is Wetangula was doing what is called self-preservation. As a man, I would rather the whole of Kenya laughs at me than I end up in jail for DV. I'd much rather that. I would much rather people see me on a live stream crying because someone is abusing me than I get accused and he end a jailer.
Even just long term, I think in a relationship like this, because at the end of the day, DV always ends up messed up. And I think there are normally some red flags you can see if you're perceptive in the beginning. If you can avoid it reaching where it is,
blind you.
And I think you should always get second opinions from people.
People that you love, your parents vet, your siblings vet, your partner.
Even maybe also, they can pass it.
Excuse me, Kidogo.
We're just about finishing. You're just finishing. Just a second. Another thing we can also help people with is, if you're not sure, because then people will pass initial vetting. You're not sure, go and ask people you trust, people who have good relationships. By the way, is this normal?
See, when you involve your parents, the vetting, like you're saying, it doesn't happen once and then they're like green bill of health.
It's consistent.
Or clean bill of health, rather. It's like, it's like you're saying, it's consistent. Your mother, especially as a man, your mother is checking out this woman and be like, I can see. Or if you're a woman who's vetting a guy, your father or your brothers, your relatives
trust.
Like, I'm seeing a pattern over here. It might be Kombali, but I can see a pattern.
Please tell me. Yeah, I think that's the best.
But in a nutshell, I think just be good human beings. Just don't, just try. Let's just make the world a better place. Don't just go accusing somebody. And if things are not working between the two of you, imagine, see lazima you force issues. If it's refuse, just go. And I'm saying this based on also experience. Me, I saw this person one day will beat me, and I just said, I love you. but I'm out.
I'm out.
I said, I really don't have to stay with you. I don't have to stand your shit. And I left. And guess what? I am happy.
Amen.
And I am not hurt. And because I could tell this man, I kid you not, because I know my mouth is not the best. I can talk shit. And when I'm angry or when I'm drunk, you know, something can happen. Mi nikajua tu mse nilimwongelesha hivi akafanya hivi. And it came like he pulled me out of the car like this. And I knew the next time this person will pull me out and beat me. I said, good night.
In essence, know thyself.
And know thy partner too.
Yes.
And just be good. Care about yourself. Live. Thanks, guys.
I think we are done with this, manze. Sensitive topic.
I was actually really scared of talking about this because Chim.
No, but guys, if you feel like you've benefited, hold on. If you feel like you've benefited, guys, please subscribe, like, and share. Share with people. Have a conversation around it, even in the comment section. Let's be real.